The views and the opinions that are expressed on the Monte Carlo Show are not necessarily those of its guests or its sponsors. Viewer listening and discretion is advised. Welcome to another episode of the Monte Carlo Show. Let's get to it.
This is Nehemiah Shamont, and you are now tuned into my album, Monte Carlo, on the Monte Carlo Show. Shalom.
This your boy Reza Riddoff, and you're now tuned in to the Monte Carlo Show. You dig? Yeah.
Yo, it's your boy DJ Kryptonite repping that 100.1 The Beat, iHeartRadio, Coalition DJs, and you know I bust them stupid old moves. But right now, you tapped in with my dog, my brother, Monte Carlo on the Monte Carlo Show. Make sure you hit that button, like and subscribe, and as always, keep busting stupid old moves, brother. I see you.
What's up, y'all? This Daisy Hunter, a.k.a. Cognac Slim, and y'all already know I'm checking in to the Monte Carlo Show. Ooh, this is my song.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the Monte Carlo Show. Hey. Up entertainment. Oh, my God. We about to take you on a wild ride. It's the Monte Carlo Show. We got a lot to discuss. We in the manosphere and every topic is up. The hella with Shalom. The plan in effect is to level up your home. Be the best version of yourself and measure up your own. We all got dreams. Set a schedule for your role when you're setting up your goals. We hard working. This the channel for the truth. This beyond purpose. Getting paper cutting green like a lawn service. This a black man channel. I know y'all nervous, but we at y'all service. Anything you want to talk about, let's talk about it. The Monte Carlo Show, the truth, we all about it. Perspectives, social push objectives, and we ain't gonna stop till our message is effective. These days, hating is selective, but the Monte Carlo Show will always be respected. It's the Monte Carlo Show. Come take this ride with us. It's the Monte Carlo Show. If you got drive, you up. It's the Monte Carlo Show. We getting the streets right, on the road to riches, and every light's a green light. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo Show.
Another one.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of
Another one.
Welcome to another episode of
Another
the
one.
Monte Carlo Show. I am your host, Monte Carlo. What's happening with y'all, man? What's going on with y'all, man? We are in the quote-unquote holiday season, and things have been ramping up since the elections. Today's episode, I want to say, is brought to you by a few different sponsors, but I definitely want to shout out Jamaica's Grill. They have become the newest sponsor to the Monte Carlo Show. And this show today is brought to you by Jamaica's Grill, located on Clemson Road. And it's also brought to you by Dapper Champel as well. Make sure y'all tap in at dapperchampel.com. Order your champel for the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? Order your champel for the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good. And my man got some new thing on the market called Champelli, which is packaged a lot different than the bottles that I just displayed here, or whatever the case may be. So today's episode is sponsored by Jamaica's Grill. Also, it is sponsored by today's episode is also sponsored by Golden Leaf Lawn Care. So if you live in Columbia, you need some lawn care services, make sure you call Golden Leaf Lawn Care, 803-391-5046. Tell them Monte Carlo sent you. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Do I have any other sponsors that I want to mention right now? I don't believe so. So let me double check my notes. Oh yeah, let me see something. I think this is for Okay, so if you want any skincare, go see Mrs. April Robinson at, what is this? Allure Studios and Beauty Spa. They're located 6801 Two Notch Road, Suite B. You can give Ms. Robinson a call. She's the owner, a licensed esthetician at 803-305-7410. So if you want to get any type of skincare, she uses a lot of organic products, and I've heard nothing but good reviews in regards to her practice. So ladies, that's for you. I do have other sponsors, but those are the sponsors that are sponsoring today's show. Today's show, we're talking about World War III. Mr. Biden, since November the 5th, after the election, and they lost, they've been really making a lot of moves, in the political realm and in government. And I really never was a big fan of Kamala from the first place, like in the first place. I never really liked the lady. I don't really think she would have been a good president. I know she wouldn't have been a good president at all. I mean, hell, to be honest with you, the way most women act today, I don't even think that type of position would have even been fit for her to be in, because it had just been all over the place. That's just my opinion, but it is what it is. I ain't tripping. You feel me? That's just how I feel about it. I just felt like if they didn't let Hillary in there, they didn't let Sarah in there. I didn't really understand the concept behind Kamala being in there, and they didn't even let Hillary or Sarah in there. That's just my observation, my opinion, right? So then, after the election, they lost terribly, which I figured that they would have lost. And, for those of you that want to know, Monte Carlo, did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote for somebody? Did you vote Democrat? Did you vote Republican? Which one did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Trump? Did you vote for Kamala? No, nigga. No, I ain't vote for neither one. I ain't vote for neither one at all.
Bruh.
Yeah, I ain't vote for neither one. Not, I didn't vote at all.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said. That fuck 'em up. I'ma do my stuff.
Yeah, I ain't vote for neither one. I told y'all in the last, I dropped the episode called Trump versus Harris. I told y'all why I don't even trust the government. I don't trust the Democrats. I don't trust the Republicans. None of that. I don't trust none of them. But then, okay, so November 5th comes, Biden or Kamala loses the election. Trump wins the election. Now, I spoke about this whole assassination attempt with Trump and the things I noticed after the fact. Whatever. I mean, he won. So let's go back a little bit. Do y'all remember when the Taliban took over Afghanistan? Do y'all remember how all that went under the Biden administration? So last time I looked at it, right? What happened was the Taliban. You had U.S. troops in Afghanistan at an Air Force base and located in different areas. Taliban comes in, and all of a sudden, Biden talking about, we gonna take the troops out. We gonna bring the troops back home from Afghanistan after they finish training the Afghani soldiers, the military, whatever kind of bullshit that was about. And so you start pulling troops out of this place that was heavily occupied by the enemy, the quote unquote Taliban. So you start pulling these troops out.
Oh my God!
Then the next thing that happens is you start hearing stories about the troops, the U.S. soldiers, and the Afghanistan troops just dropping their weapons. I'm talking about the U.S. military left behind. They left behind heavy armor, like heavy weapons.
Stop the cap.
They left behind heavy weapons.
What?
They left behind heavy weapons.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, they did. They left behind heavy weapons, tanks, helicopters, all kinds of stuff. I'm talking about high-grade weaponry. You know what I'm saying? Machine guns and different types of weapons, scopes on them, infrared beams. It was crazy. It was crazy. They just threw their hands up, you know what I'm saying, waved the white flag and dropped all of their equipment, and then they ended up leaving Afghanistan. Y'all gonna have to bear with me on this episode right here because we got to tap into just some different things that, you know, I'm still shocked at how people are still, they still have confidence in this government. I wish I could see my wife sneaking past me right now with the Jamaican food I bought the other day. She eating the Jamaican food I bought last night, and she tried to sneak past me looking just being quiet or whatever. But whatever, you know. And I bet I ain't got none left in there either too. And that Jamaican food was brought to you by Jamaica's Grill, authentic Caribbean cuisine, located off of Clemson Road, by the way. One of our sponsors. Yeah, I'm talking about you. But anyway, so, you know, they just dropped everything. Left the Afghanistan military to defend for themselves. Then the U.S. troops, not only did they leave by way of the Biden administration, but then you leave behind all these all these weapons. I'm talking about everything modified. Y'all left behind weapons, tanks. I mean, it was crazy. Like y'all left behind everything.
Bomba Jesus Christ!
I tell you what though, let's get to this. Let's listen to some of the stuff that happened back, you know, with the Afghanistan thing, then leading up to what I was talking about as far as World War III, with this American Russia Ukraine thing going on. But let's break it down. Like I said, for those of y'all, you know, that got a short mind span and stuff like that, this might not be for you. I don't know, because I don't know how long this episode gonna last. But at the same time, I feel like it's something we need to talk about. We need to address, man, because y'all out here doing a lot of bullshit. Y'all out here doing a lot of stupid stuff. But y'all ain't paying attention to the world around you. But let's get to it. Let's go from the beginning. Let's talk about what the news had to say when the troops left Afghanistan. Fair use.
America's forever war is no longer. After a nearly 20-year military presence, the U.S. has withdrawn. The last American soldier to leave Afghanistan, Major General Chris Donahue, commander of the 82nd Airborne Division, boarded this C-17.
I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan and the end of the military mission to evacuate American citizens, third country nationals, and vulnerable Afghans. The last C-17 lifted off from Hamid Karzai International Airport on August 30th, this afternoon, at 3:29 p.m. East Coast time. And the last manned aircraft is now clearing the airspace above Afghanistan.
According to General Frank McKenzie, the last plane took off from the Kabul airport 1 minute before midnight local time and seconds before the U.S.'s self-imposed Tuesday deadline of August 31st. Over 123,000 people were airlifted in 2 weeks, including about 6,000 Americans. It's the largest airlift in U.S. history. But there were horrific and fatal events in the last 2 weeks. As the Taliban took Kabul in mid-August, desperate Afghan civilians flooded the airport.
Jesus Christ!
And some falling from a departing U.S. Air Force plane. A deadly attack by Daesh-K at an airport gate last Thursday killed at least 169 Afghans and 13 U.S. service members.
Yo, you literally had people from Afghanistan hanging on to a big ass plane listen, I don't know the desperation. I don't know what they were thinking. I can't call it. But it had to have been bad, because if you're willing to hang on to a big ass airplane, to my military jet, to get out of Afghanistan because of the Taliban, boy, it had to have been bad. Then they're saying that there was maybe even some troops left over from the U.S. Army in Afghanistan during this time. Let's get back to it.
Over the weekend, after rockets were launched at U.S. forces, a targeted strike blew up a car that reportedly was outfitted with rocket launchers. The U.S. launched several over-the-horizon drone strikes recently, but questions about civilian casualties remain.
The drone strike that the United States conducted appears, according to family members in Afghanistan, to have killed 7 children as part of 10 people. Does the president feel the same sense of responsibility and loss for those lives as he does for the American service members?
Well, first let me say that we take steps from the United States to avoid civilian casualties in every scenario, and probably more than almost any country in the world. I can't speak to or confirm the numbers or cases of civilian casualties in this case. There is an investigation.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the U.S. Embassy will now operate out of Doha, Qatar, to address humanitarian issues in Afghanistan and hold the Taliban leadership to its word that they will allow people to leave Afghanistan if they choose to.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like,
what?
What do you, so, and then people, so y'all had all this happen under the Biden administration, under the Democrats. And don't think the Republicans didn't have nothing to do with this as well, because they're all in cahoots. It's just a matter of who has the seat. That's the truth. Who has the seat? But then, you know, you got all this going on under the Biden administration within the first couple years of him being president.
A new chapter of America's engagement with Afghanistan has begun. It's one in which we will lead with our diplomacy. The military mission is over. A new diplomatic mission has begun.
President Biden did not speak publicly. He will address the American public Tuesday.
What?
Yo, come on, man. Come on, man. Like,
bruh.
What all this under Biden administration. Let's go to Exhibit B. That was Exhibit A. Let's go to Exhibit B.
The last American troops cleared out of Bagram Air Base without celebrations or fanfare. The U.S. military, citing security concerns, is not saying when or how U.S. troops are leaving. Bases are shutting down without hardly a peep. At the White House, President Biden also did not want to draw attention to Afghanistan, bristling when reporters pressed him today about the impact of the withdrawal.
Are you worried that the Afghan government might fall?
I think they have the capacity to be able to sustain the government.
I thought on Afghanistan.
I want to talk about happy things, man. I'm not going to answer any more questions on Afghanistan. Look, it's 4th of July.
But not talking about it won't stop this. As U.S. troops leave, some Afghan security units are collapsing. The Taliban's propaganda channels, in confirmed events, show Afghan police and soldiers giving up their bases and their weapons.
What?
The Taliban have even been handing out pocket money to pay for their transport home. Humiliation. Most Afghans do not want the Taliban to return. Zaman Ahmadi is studying to be a computer engineer. He taught himself English, listening to Voice of America radio.
All Afghanistan going to be the same as before. No education, no freedom, there's no TV, there's no any broadcast, anything.
2,442 Americans died in this war. But for years, it's mainly been a training mission to prop up the Afghan security services. By September, nearly all U.S. troops will be gone. And it's the Taliban who are now celebrating as Americans leave in silence. Thousands of Afghan translators who fought alongside U.S. troops also fear what may be coming. The Biden administration has promised to resettle many of them in the United States, but the details are still unclear, and the translators are still here and afraid. Lester?
Richard Engel in Kabul tonight. Thanks. And the rise of the Taliban once again in Afghanistan poses a significant danger to the country's women and girls. Andrea Mitchell joins us now to talk about that. What's the biggest...
Man, listen, all that stuff, man, they've been talking about it has a large impact on women and girls. That's the middle. That's what they quote unquote call the Middle East. It's always been a stipulation towards women and girls in that part of the world. They've never been able to just do what they want to do, like these westernized women and these Europeanized or Americanized women, westernized women have been able to do here where we are. They always been held to a certain standard. And needless to say, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But I think some of that stuff is necessary because that's a whole nother conversation. Whatever. The point is, all this happened under the Biden administration. Now let's bring you back up to speed. So you had the Taliban taking over Afghanistan, American troops dropping weapons, heavy stuff. Everything from modified rifles, upgraded pistols, tanks, helicopters, everything. Y'all left all that in the Taliban's hand. Y'all literally just gave the Taliban all the weaponry that they needed to do whatever they wanted to do. Mortar rounds, mortars to fire the mortar rounds, everything, right? Then you got Israel and Hezbollah, or Israel and Hamas. They're doing, they're going back to back. This whole Israel, Hezbollah, Hamas thing, right? So I'm just trying to really understand, so we started from the beginning, right? So now let's bring you up to speed now. So now Biden and Kamala, however you say her name, Joe and Kamala lost the election. All before that, Sloppy Joe was on some, we want to keep peace with Russia. We don't want to really get too involved, but we do support Ukraine, but by the way of the UN, the United Nations, but whatever. He wanted to keep the peace for the most part. But then now they lost the election. All of a sudden, you want to give Ukraine heavy weaponry, upgraded weapons on some Stark technology type shit to launch missiles into Russia. Then you got North Korea sending troops to help Russia with this situation, and Russia alone could take care of Ukraine. But then you got North Korea getting involved, sending troops in to help the Russian military fight against Ukraine. And okay, let's get to it.
So President Biden reversing course and lifting restrictions on Ukraine's use of U.S.-provided weapons deep inside Russian territory. For the first time, Biden is giving Ukrainian forces the green light to actually strike Russia with long-range American missiles. That move coming after months of lobbying by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and with major changes on the horizon once President-elect Trump takes office. Our Patrick Regal is in Ukraine. So, Patrick, let's talk about how big of an impact this could make on the war.
Hi, Kira. Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. It's certainly a significant decision by President Biden to essentially reverse his opposition to over a year of Ukrainian requests to use these long-range ATACMS missiles. But there is a caveat. We know from our reporting that for the time being, at least, the focus of this authority to start striking inside Russia is limited to the Kursk region, which is the border region, the Russian border region that Ukraine managed to take a foothold in with its own offensive back in August, and where now Russia has been trying to push Ukraine out of with a major new offensive, including with thousands of North Korean troops. And it's our understanding that the arrival of the North Korean troops was a significant factor, perhaps the crucial factor, in persuading the Biden administration to finally drop its opposition to allowing Ukraine to use these missiles. And as we understand it, from
fair use.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Bumbucker! Jesus Christ! What? Bruh.
Hey, yo, man. So, at one point, Biden wasn't even on that tip. All of a sudden, you lose the election. Now, you want to enable Ukraine to get weapons they didn't even have to fire off into Russia while you trying to keep your hands clean. I heard, shout out to my man's Big Ward on YouTube. Shout out to Big Ward. Y'all follow him. He's a, you know what I'm saying? He's a active YouTuber. I believe his main occupation is he's a truck driver, but shout out to him. Also shout out to my man New Breed. New Breed, y'all follow New Breed on YouTube as well. New Breed Global Truth. Both of them spoke on this, and it was really Big Ward, BIGWARD. I think it's Big Ward that the first person I heard really like say it this way. But he was like, you know, what the U.S. is doing, what Biden is doing, it's like seeing two people fighting, and you can see two people fighting, but then you give, you know, one person's winning the fight, but then the person's losing the fight. You see the fight, you're the outside looking in, but then you see the fight, but then what you do is you go and get the person that's losing a weapon to help themselves in the fight against the person they're losing against. But then you step back and say, I don't want nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I just want to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with it. My hands are clean. Y'all do what y'all do. But you just stepped into this fight. They ain't had nothing to do with you to help the person that was losing. Give them a weapon to give them an advantage against, or what you thinking is advantage against the person they're losing against. New Breed talked about it as well. The news is covering this. Biden has entered himself into what we would consider World War III. Like I said, you got Israel versus Hamas and Hezbollah. You got the Taliban and Afghanistan situation. North Korea joining with Russia. Then you got America joining into the fight with Ukraine against Russia, which Russia is backed by. I believe they're backed by, if I'm not mistaken, they're backed by China and North Korea. And Russia's already vast as it is. Putin ain't playing. Just like Kendrick said, Vladimir making nightmares. But that's what we all think. In that song, what's the song that Kendrick made? I can't remember, but you know. Oh, I think it was called Are You Happy For Me? Really? Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? I'm out the way. Are you happy for me? But he was like Vladimir making nightmares. But that's what we all think. Listen, I can't lie to y'all. If I was Putin, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Because Ukraine, as far as my research and studies, Ukraine was a part of Russia. And then they decided to, they want to go left. But then you're aligning yourself with people that might not have Russia's best interests in mind. And if you allow these forces that you've connected yourself with to place their weapons on your territory, to fire into this territory that you wanted to be independent from, which is not a problem. It's cool. You want to be independent from them, that's fine. But there's something that I just can't. I don't know. I don't see where. I mean, war is war. To be honest, it's people. It's here on the United States soil. It's people getting shot and killed for all kinds of reasons every day. And it's never pretty. It's always an ugly thing. It's always ugly. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing ever going to be good about war. But if you got to go to war, you know, I remember the Most High telling David in the Bible, hey, when y'all go into certain places, or he telling Israel under Moses, and then even when David came and all the people, but you know, when y'all go in these certain towns, kill the women, kill the men, the women, the children, and the cattle. He told Israel and the kings to kill off everything in certain towns leading up to us occupying the promised land, which is Israel. So I really can't say that I don't like war, but I know that when war occurs, it's never pretty. But that's this is crazy though.
Military experts, they believe, of course, it will be useful to Ukraine, it will be helpful to them in holding on to Kursk, but it will ultimately still be limited. And what we hear from Ukrainian officials is that it is still short of what Ukraine had been hoping. We understand that there are hundreds of potential targets across the border in other areas of Russia that they would like to be able to hit, but which they, at the moment, it seems unlikely they would be able to. The question, of course, is what is Russia going to do? There was concern, obviously, among the Biden administration that there would be some kind of retaliation over this. This is why they didn't want to do this in the first place. But, what that type of retaliation will be, we don't yet know. Most experts think it will likely be more some kind of asymmetric response. Today we've heard from the Kremlin saying that this decision pours fuel on the fire of the conflict, and that it's another spiral of escalation. We've also heard a senior Russian official say that they will be forced to respond. Ukraine previously has said that ultimately Russia is largely bluffing, and they believe that the US and the Biden administration has been too timid throughout this war. But I guess we will see how this goes, Kieran.
Listen, man. You can't be a punk ass person going to war. Biden and his whole administration are some punk ass people. Matter of fact, like I said, I don't trust the Democrats or the Republicans, to be honest with you. That's just me. It is what it is. But y'all heard it for yourself. And this is from the news. This is from ABC News. Fair use, fair use. It's from ABC News. Okay? It's ridiculous, man. They're plunging us into war. And then what's crazy? Before we get into this next little clip real quick, the black community, y'all done fucking pissed me off. You done pissed me off badly, especially the women. I hate to say it. No, matter of fact, I don't hate to say it. F it. Y'all have been divorcing y'all man because he didn't vote for Kamala. Y'all been leaving y'all men because he didn't vote for Kamala. Y'all been talking trash to your man, talking cash cold shit to your man because he didn't vote for Kamala.
Bruh. We don't do that here.
Women.
Y'all have been doing all kinds of stupid shit behind Kamala and your relationships. You left good men. I haven't heard not of one man leaving his woman because she wanted to vote for Kamala. I haven't heard of it, but I have heard a lot of heinous things, a lot of weird things going on with these women because their husbands or their boyfriends or their fiancés didn't vote for Kamala. And all this has happened under their administration, under the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah, this episode ain't for the faint of heart. And all y'all doing right now is still, you know what I'm saying, you're not even looking at the world around you. Some of y'all simp-ass niggas is still out here throwing money, blowing money, and all y'all women doing is shaking your ass and catching attitudes. Still. And I don't care about how you feel about what I'm saying. I don't care. This is the Monte Carlo Show. These are my sentiments. And like I said before, the views and the opinions that are expressed on the Monte Carlo Show are not necessarily those of its sponsors or its guests. So viewer listening indiscretion is always advised. Okay? But this is ridiculous. All under the Biden-Harris administration. Where was we at? Is this the next one? Let's check this out. Come on.
Overnight in Ukraine and in Russia, this war is escalating rapidly. But is this all a race to the finish? Ukrainian intelligence are now examining the wreckage of a new type of high-speed, nuclear-capable missile that Vladimir Putin launched last week. Ukrainian officials confirmed it flew 11 times the speed of sound, too fast for Ukraine to shoot down. Putin called the launch a test and a response after President Biden authorized Ukraine to fire American weapons deeper into Russia for the first time.
Jesus Christ!
And Biden are all escalating, it seems, to secure stronger positions before President-elect Trump takes office.
If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
This weekend, Trump's pick for National Security Advisor Mike Waltz signaled a new policy is coming.
We need to bring this to a responsible end. We need to restore deterrence, restore peace.
Many Ukrainians also want the war to stop, but they do not believe Putin would ever honor a deal. We joined a group of soldiers who call themselves the Witches of Bucha.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, no. No, 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 no.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Bruh.
Now Ukraine has a whole platoon, a whole squadron of all female soldiers because most of their husbands and their sons are already fighting on the front lines against Russia. Man, fair use, man. Fair use. Let's go.
Now taking up arms. In a forest outside Kyiv, they're training in close combat, fully expecting one day Russian troops will make another push for Kyiv. 90% of this unit are women. Many of their sons and husbands are out fighting on the front lines, so they have stepped up, volunteering to defend the capital. Valentina, the soldiers only released their first names, is a grandmother. Her son and son-in-law are on the front lines. President-elect Trump says that he's going to...
What? Bruh.
A grandmama? Y'all got grandmamas? Ukraine, y'all got grandmamas out there on the front lines training, fight? And all you see around America is we support Ukraine, we support Ukraine. Y'all got grandmamas out there fighting? Y'all.
Bruh. What?
Stop the cap.
What? Another one.
Y'all got grandmamas out there fighting, bro?
Damn!
Come on, man. Yo.
Jesus Christ. Bomboka.
Y'all got grandmamas out there fighting Ukraine? Ukraine, y'all got grandmamas out there fighting against Russia? Really?
This war in a day. Do you have confidence in that? I don't believe this war can be stopped with a negotiation, she says. Putin can't be trusted. In 3 to 5 years, he'll come back. Many Ukrainians I've spoken to express the very same sentiment, telling me that even if Trump is able to secure some sort of ceasefire, that Putin will just use the time to re-equip himself, rearm, and then invade again.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show.
Listen, man. Putin is not playing. Vladimir is not playing. Vladimir is not playing. He's on some if he dies, he dies. Drago, Rocky, okay? If he dies, he dies. Stop. Listen, man. All I'm saying is Biden has upped the ante as far as plunging America into World War III. Shout out to the 2 people that I follow that's been, covering this outside of the news. Like I said, New Breed and my other homie. You know what I'm saying? Like it's big Ward. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And all we doing is being entertained by entertainment and all these, the P. Diddy situation or football and basketball, and which is cool. It takes our mind off of things, but at the same time, you got to be willing to be aware of what's going on around you. Got to be willing to do that, man. But listen, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to bring some of this to y'all attention and bring awareness to this situation. You know what I'm saying? For all y'all ladies out there that didn't left y'all, the good men out here just because they didn't vote for your girl. Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, let me see something here. Yeah. Yeah. If y'all done left these men for that reason, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, man, I just wanted to bring some awareness to this situation. Sorry, y'all, I had a call coming in. I just wanted to make sure it didn't interfere from my other phone with me trying to record. But let's think about this, man. Let's really think about this. Let's take this into consideration. I'm not sure what's going to happen before Trump takes the seat, officially takes the seat, I believe, in January. But Biden is going out crazy. It's almost like renting a car and you just smoking it up. You then crashed into a couple of things and then you got to turn it back into Hertz. You just give it back to them, give them the keys or whatever. They see it and it's like renting a house out, getting the Airbnb, having a party, and you invite a lot of people over, they trash the place up, and then the owner comes of the Airbnb and they looking around like what happened here? What I specifically told them what to do and not to do, and they obviously didn't care. Anyway, guys, World War III is amongst us. I'm not sure what the ramifications are going to be for America from this point moving forward, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good, and we'll just see what happens, man. All I can tell y'all to do is stay prayed up. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe and stay dangerous. You know what I mean? Protect yourself at all times. Be aware of your surroundings. Keep your eyes, keep your ears and eyes open. Keep your ears and eyes open. I'm Monte Carlo. Thank y'all so much for tuning to another episode of Monte Carlo Show. I got another one coming right after this one. I'm about to record some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that y'all check out my sponsors. And with that being said, we are about to head out. Thank you so much for tuning to the Monte Carlo Show. Y'all remember to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video. If you want to support my channel, you can always go to Cashapp at TheMonteCarloShow. $, TheMonteCarloShow. If you want to, send me some direct things that y'all want me to talk about, you can always email me at TheMonteCarloShow@gmail.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram at @Iam_Monte Carlo. So with that being said, I'm out. Most High bless y'all. And remember, just remember, man, when you see me, say Shalom. I'll see y'all on the next one, all right? Most High bless y'all.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the Monte Carlo Show. Hey, Up Entertainment. I'm about to take you on a wild ride. It's the Monte Carlo Show. We got a lot to discuss. We in the manosphere and every topic is up. The hella with Shalom. The plan in effect is to level up your home. Be the best version of yourself and measure up your own. We all got dreams. Set a schedule for your role when you're setting up your goals. We hard working. This the channel for the truth. This beyond purpose. Getting paper cutting green like a lawn service. This a black man channel. I know y'all nervous, but we at y'all service. Anything you want to talk about, let's talk about it. The Monte Carlo Show, the truth, we all about it. Perspectives, show some push objectives, and we ain't gonna stop till our message is effective. These days, hating is selective, but the Monte Carlo Show will always be respected. It's the Monte Carlo Show. Come take this ride with us. It's the Monte Carlo Show. If you got drive, you up. It's the Monte Carlo Show. We getting the streets right, on the road to riches, and every light's a green light. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo. It's the Monte Carlo Show. It's the Monte Carlo Show.